All right, so Ant-Man and the Wasp. We all went to go see it, and we're going to talk about it. So we're going to do no spoilers at first, then we'll jump into spoilers.
Okay.
So, overall, did it live up to the first one?
I only saw the first one once, and I have to admit, I don't remember it very well. But I liked the first movie a lot, so I'm not going to compare. I will say that I did like this one a lot. I thought it was really good. I don't feel like it fell short of anything. At the same time, I didn't really go in with any sort of expectations. But I think both movies, and again, I just said I don't remember the first one very well, but I think both movies are just really fun. I think they're fun movies, and yeah, the only thing I'll say about this is I think some of the jokes, but in a lot of Marvel movies are that way, a little corny. I just kind of like, I'm like, all right, really? Just like all the things they tried to say with like the word ant in it and stuff.
Those jokes feel a little bit better though in
Yeah.
Ant-Man. They
You
feel
think so?
more
I
appropriate.
think so too.
All right.
You're talking about when he names like
for me is a little off still, but I mean it's not the most egregious example of the jokes that have been
I
happening.
think if it was anyone other than Paul Rudd,
Yeah,
it wouldn't land.
Yeah, it's him that gets away with it.
Yeah,
So
that's the only reason.
yeah,
gets
that's
away
true.
with it.
So I really enjoyed it. What about you, James?
I really liked it too. I thought it surpassed the original.
Oh.
If only because you already knew the characters, so you got past all that bullshit of getting to know them.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you just got to have fun with them.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you with that because like I like the first one a lot too.
Yeah.
But again, it's like, we're getting to know these characters. We need to know who they are, and then the second one's like, all right, you know who they are. Let's just get into it, and that's why I do love the second one. Better or about the same as the first one because they're both good movies, and I mean Paul Rudd is just fucking amazing. He's a great comedic actor. And
he's turning into being a good superhero too.
And
like
a
it's just
superhero, yeah.
At first I'm like, he's gonna be Ant-Man. Like I just didn't understand, but now Paul Rudd is like ripped and and he's a full-on superhero.
I was wondering how, because like every Marvel hero ends up taking off their shirt, one time or another, and like I was like, I wonder how they're gonna put it into this one. And it was him getting into the tub, which is funny.
Yeah.
So you were thinking about Paul Rudd taking his shirt off?
Oh yeah, the whole time.
That's okay, me too.
And he loves Chris Hemsworth.
No,
Thor.
See that gets attached to me because Thor was his gateway into the Marvel universe, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh, I love Chris Hemsworth, and it's like, all right, whatever, sure.
But yeah, I think the jokes landed. The only reason the jokes worked in this movie is because of Paul Rudd. I stand so strongly behind that.
I'm not saying they didn't work. I just kind of look and I'm just like,
right. But I just, as far as like, because like with Ragnarok and even with Guardians of the Galaxy 2, like I felt like they're kind of depending on
I don't
which
agree
ones
with you on Ragnarok, and we talked about this already.
Because I thought Ragnarok, it was good. I loved Ragnarok, but I feel like there were sometimes jokes in places where they did not need to be.
I don't know that I think that movie from the start was kind of tongue-in-cheek, more so. Like, it didn't take itself so seriously, so the jokes that were in that didn't bother me. I think Ragnarok was fine, but that's fine. Yeah,
no, I liked it, too.
No, I'm not saying you didn't. But we talked about this when we reviewed it, too. True. So, I just don't agree.
I feel like all the jokes... And, like, I've watched this twice. I watched this movie twice now.
Yeah, Rick's seen it twice now.
And even the second time around, like, I still loved everything about this movie. The naming of the different ants, that's probably, like, my favorite thing in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really Antonio Banderas.
See, that's the stuff where I was just like, come on. Like, I just didn't need it. It's fine, though. Like, it's fine.
It fits the character of Scotland.
No, totally. Like, it's, yeah.
And with the movie named
a cheesy
Ant-Man,
guy.
like, you kind of have to do it. And the effects in this movie are also great. Like, Ghost is, like, I'm curious. I want to know, filmmaking-wise, movie and visual effects-wise, like, I want to know how they did that. Like, how did they make, like, her shadow, like, show further... like the effects that, she has on phasing and stuff like that. I thought that was amazing. So I really like that. The visual effects in this.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot Judy Greer is in it, and I really love her a lot.
See, this is how much I don't remember the first. So Judy Greer is his ex-wife.
His ex-wife, yeah.
And then, what's his name? The actor's name is Bobby Cannavale.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's her new boyfriend
Yes.
or husband. Okay, I totally forgot about that. Their relationship is weird or open like that, but that was something that that I just didn't remember for the first movie at all. I will say, for me being relatively new to all this stuff, and I think I felt this way when I watched the first Ant-Man, but more so with this one because, like you guys both already said, we're not introducing these characters anymore. It's hard for me to watch this and not think dang, is Ant-Man the most badass of all the superheroes? It's hard to argue with Ant-Man's powers, so to speak. I mean, they could shrink stuff down. You know what I mean? When it comes down to it, I don't think it's meant that way, but I'm just dang, pound for pound, I wonder if I would want Ant-Man's powers. I really feel like this movie delivered on showing the impact that Ant-Man and the Wasp can have during these big epic battles and stuff. That was my takeaway. So I just thought I'd bring that up.
Yeah, the scale of his powers going big and going small, he's pretty powerful.
You know what I mean? And I don't know,
those could also be weaknesses, though. So I wouldn't necessarily say he's one of the.
I mean, it's just my opinion.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And I would probably want those powers too.
Yeah, it's just interesting. I get it's not necessarily entirely him. I was also including how crazy it is just to shrink down a building and drag it along a suitcase and stuff. It's dang,
that was hilarious.
So maybe it isn't so much Ant-Man's powers, but I was dang, that's awesome. Or just the whole thing with the cars. I'm just that is so stealthy. It's we're gonna drive this mini car, and then it's gonna become big, and then we're gonna shrink it down. And it's that. I think that just the idea of everything that is capable in that movie, I think, is kind of amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's more of that. But James, you really enjoyed the movie too.
I did. I did very much.
Cool.
The truth serum part was hilarious.
I think I'm just hard. I think it takes me, I don't know, I laugh, I think this goes with a lot of people, but I laugh more in groups. If I'm watching something even by myself, sometimes, even if it's funny, I don't laugh. So I don't want to say it takes more for me to laugh, but yeah, there's just a lot of stuff okay, I get why that's funny. I mean, I think it's kind of whatever, but I don't know.
Well, I like that we got his, I'm forgetting the character's name, Michael Pena's character's name.
I don't know.
Well, anyways,
I
I like that we got his storytelling aspect again in this movie.
I was wondering how they were going to do that, and they fitted it in appropriately.
Yeah, it worked really well. And just watching Paul Rudd and how do you say her name?
Evangeline
Lilly.
Yeah. Talk that way with his dubbed voice was, oh my god, that was so good.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. I love that.
So, anything you guys disliked about the movie?
I have a love-hate feeling with Ghost.
Okay.
Because I love the way she looked, and I loved her backstory, because I feel the best villains are not about taking over the world. They have a more personal reason for doing what they do.
Mm-hmm.
But I never felt like we knew enough about her to even care about her. But then again, the movie was not really about her either. So
yeah, the movie kind of that's another thing I took away from it. Had a lot of balls in the air, in the sense of there's her story, and then there's the people that they're dealing with that were selling them the parts and stuff. Then there's Lawrence Fishburne, who I guess is also part of Ghost, or you could tie them in together. Then there's just the race against time and, trying to reunite with, I guess we kind of blew the whole spoiler, non-spoiler thing. We just went fucking full spoilers, but Cheesy's at the baseball game, so he's not watching anyways.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I just felt dang, there's a lot of as soon as one thing got settled, then, you're dealing with Janet, you're dealing with Ghost, you're dealing with him not getting caught on his house arrest
Yes,
stuff.
that's true.
That's typical Marvel storytelling, though.
Yeah, I guess
Never
so.
wanting you to get bored.
It felt a little bit more apparent for some reason to me in this movie. I think it's obviously really like that in the Avengers movies because there's so many things happening in those. But I thought they did a good job of making you care and think about a lot of stuff in Ant-Man in this movie for sure.
Yeah, I'm always a fan of, the first Ant-Man and this one because they're small stories.
Yeah.
All these other Marvel films are so big and epic, it's hard to relate to it sometimes, so you just enjoy it. But with Ant-Man, you kind of feel a little bit more, I think.
It feels a little bit more down to earth.
Yeah.
As weird as that sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I totally agree with
think
that
that's
too. I was
right.
actually gonna pretty much say the same thing what you just said, because everything else is just so epic. I almost feel like this, like Ant-Man, could also be part of, like in the middle between the epicness and like the street level, like Jessica Jones and Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like they're just like right in the middle.
Yeah.
And in a good way, because like you don't always want see the world end, and like the first Ant-Man was pretty much a heist movie.
Yeah.
You
This
know?
was kind of a heist
And this
movie
was
too, in a
still
way.
kind of a heist
It
movie.
has
Yeah.
that tone for sure.
And and that's the same reason why I like these movies, and like they have the perfect actors for this type of movie.
I
And,
like the addition of Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh
too.
yes.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Like, she didn't get to do a lot, but I really enjoyed what she did
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. Her presence was definitely there, as in like, 'cause she's just a great actress.
There's a lot of heavy hitters in this movie now.
Yeah.
You know? Like her,
Yeah.
Pfeiffer, and what's his name, Michael Douglas. You know, and everybody that's in it. Like it's kind of crazy, especially because there's probably some people that just sort of write off like Ant-Man, like, oh, you know, I could just see it whenever. Okay, I don't know if we want to jump to this, but what's your guys' takeaway with the post-credits scene? Do you guys have any theories what it means?
I'm assuming the first one.
Yeah.
We actually left because he said, "Don't worry about the final one."
Yeah.
I had to go to the bathroom.
Amusing though.
Yeah. We wanted to get back here for you and set up, so we just.
Well, I knew they would have to connect it to Infinity War.
Yeah, they had to.
And, but yeah, so I was waiting for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was kind of waiting for it. Like, I didn't think it was going to be a post-credit scene. I thought it was actually going to like happen right when they were doing the whole drive-in thing.
Oh, really?
You know, I thought, or like something to that point where like I thought we were going to see him like react to his like daughter disappearing or something like that. Maybe this is just like really morbid and like really wrong.
Yeah, that's dark.
But like dark, there you go. But I thought it was going to be something kind of like that.
That's funny. I didn't even put that together. Actually, I feel kind of stupid now. Like Infinity War. That's totally what that was.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't even know what. Yeah,
Oh, you
like, it
didn't
totally
put
set an
that together,
epiphany.
okay.
Okay. So basically, then that means that essentially what was happening in Ant-Man was happening like simultaneously. I guess.
Yes.
We could
Yes.
say.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, because the reason he wasn't there along
And-
with Hawkeye.
Well, the reason why
Hawkeye's-
Ant-Man wasn't there was because he was under house arrest
yes.
too. But now this also explains. Well, I don't
Why
know.
he survived,
Right.
sort of, because he's now stuck in the quantum
Right.
realm.
Yeah. Well, during the post-credit sequence, too, they mentioned, or Michelle Pfeiffer's character mentioned, about the time vortex inside the
right.
quantum realm. So, clearly time is going to be a huge part of the next Infinity War.
Yeah. Interesting.
You're right. I totally forgot about that. I watched the movie twice. Yeah, I kind of had a feeling too, because like I've seen some of the posts, or not posts. Well, there were posts of the on-set pictures,
Mhm.
which I don't get so upset anymore about, because like I mean I know it's a Marvel movie. I know they're gonna survive, you know, for the most part. So like that's why I saw some of them, and plus it was in my feed.
Don't get too complacent, though, on that, because they have to kill somebody in the next Avenger film, or everything they're doing won't be worth it.
No, that's
Someone
true. Someone
is really biting the dust this time.
And so, see, that was my joke too. Like one of our friends, you know, after he saw Infinity War, he's just like, "So what'd you think? Like, everybody died, or like people died?" I'm like, "Hey, they're not." Like even me watching
Yeah.
it, who didn't really know much about it, I'm like, I didn't really look at that. I didn't think of that as them dying. I just thought like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
well, you know what I mean. But there's some people that are. So I'm like, they're not. Oh, you'll see. I'm like, dude.
Oh,
No.
yeah, they're not killing all
Right.
of the Guardians and
Yeah.
Black Panther.
Yeah.
Like,
For
Yeah.
all
Doesn't
their
make any
money
sense.
makers.
It was. I'm referring to Bryant, and I don't think that's what
right.
he. But he would joke with me about that, and I'm like, dude. He's like, well, yeah, I guess they got. I'm like, they're not. Anyways,
They're coming back, but
yeah.
technically they're dead.
They're not dead. They're not dead.
They're in another dimension,
Mm-hmm.
perhaps. They're in the quantum realm.
They could be inside the Infinity Stone,
Oh, I didn't think about that.
inside the Soul Stone or whatever.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Alright. Well, you guys kind of, I don't know if I just was too concerned with having to go to the bathroom, but I didn't even think about Infinity. But as soon as you said Infinity War, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, and they disappeared. All right.
I'm surprised you didn't put that.
I don't know why I didn't.
It's
I
like,
told you I'm newbie to this stuff.
I just saw the first one.
I know.
Or
I just
the
didn't think
big
of.
one.
I just didn't cross my mind. So, any other final thoughts about this? Because I am dying.
Yeah, me too. Well, I'm just kind of curious how they're going to get him out. Like, I don't know how he's going to get out of.
I think the
quantum realm.
time vortex
time
will
vortex
come
stuff.
into play, and I think he'll get himself
I
out
see what you're
through
saying.
it,
Yeah.
Okay.
but not necessarily in the right time.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's just my random.
No, I think that's a pretty good.
Because the
Theory.
next is Captain Marvel, which takes place in the 90s,
Yeah. So let's look
Oh,
forward to
wow.
that.
Yeah.
which
So
ties into the
Ant-Man.
whole time thing too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I guess the only other way that he would possibly be able to get out is like Lawrence Fishburne's character might be able
We'll survive.
to discern to figure
Oh,
out
yeah.
that he would be in there because otherwise no one else would know.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, he probably doesn't know, but he's the person that could find out.
Ghost.
Well, yeah, Ghost too.
Ghost, yeah, 'cause she's technically in the quantum realm, sort of, or can control it.
So,
That's right.
but it sounds like overall we really enjoyed the movie.
Yeah,
I thought it was good. I recommend going to see it.